Hello everyone, Catweazle here. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to our new playthrough of Eldritch Horror and Shub-Niggurath, the twin blasphemies of the Black Goat, where we're just about to start episode 1. I'm not aware of any problems with the setup, so we can go straight into the action phase. Jenny packed her things into a small suitcase, looking wistfully at her wardrobe full of the latest fashions. But it was no good. If this trip to Jamaica looking for Isabel had taught Jenny anything, it was that trailing around with several trunks and cases was suitable only for vacations. This was a serious business, and she would just have to forego her usual essentials. Just 2 dresses, a trouser suit, 3 pairs of shoes, a pair of handbags, her .25 automatic, and Daddy's necklace would have to do. She could always buy something if anything cropped up, you know, like dinner with an ambassador or whatever. At least she had a lead now. The mysterious woman on the phone had said that the men with Isabel had been sent to Argentina, and Jenny knew that a friend of Daddy's was in Buenos Aires outfitting an expedition. Uncle Leo was a bit gruff, but Jenny was sure that he would help out. After all, he was always badgering Daddy for money to go off into the middle of nowhere. And here we are with Jenny. So we'll have a look at the player trays before everybody heads off. And this is Jenny. So I think what we're going to do with her is she is going to go to Buenos Aires, and that will help with her personal story. And once she gets there, what she'll do, she won't have to use a ship ticket because she's only moving a single sea lane. So she'll just move to Buenos Aires, and once she's there, she'll acquire assets. But she'll use her component action to do it here on her card, her special action that she's got. You or another investigator on a city space may perform an acquire assets action and gain +2. So she's normally got an influence of 4. That'll give her an influence of 6. So she'll be rolling 6 dice, and she's got her fine jewellery, and that'll give her a +1 on one of the dice. Let's see how many successes we can get. Hopefully at least 4, because we want that shotgun. Okay, let's pop across to the board and see how she gets on. And here we are with Jenny. She's up there in Jamaica, but on a sea space. So if we want to do any acquiring of assets, we're going to have to get to a city, and Buenos Aires is just the job. So she's going to travel for her first action, and then for her second action, she is going to acquire assets, but she's going to use her component action as mentioned. So we need 6 dice. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 dice. So we could do with 6 successes, but let's see how we do. And we've got 2 successes at least. And we've got a 4. So using her jewellery, we can turn that into a 5. So in the end, we got 3 successes. But remember, she also has a passive. And a passive means that if we get a debt condition, she can discard it. And that's what she's going to do, because we're going to get a bank loan. That gets us a debt condition when I can find it. Where are they? They're here somewhere. There we go. So we'll give it a cut, and then we'll just pull off the bottom till we get a debt, which we've got there, and it's going straight back in, because she's going to discard it. So, excellent. Daddy's paying for this one, and that gives her 5 successes. 1 more than we need. But, yeah, we're going to take the double-barreled shotgun, which you should be seeing on your screen now. That is going onto her player tray, because she wants to trade that to her good friend Uncle Leo shortly. So Leo's going to use one of his actions to trade for that. All right, I think that's it for our actions. So one last thing to do, which is we get the asset deck and we replace the asset that we've just taken out of the reserve. So give it a cut, and what do we get? We get the mission briefing. Awesome. So that should come up on your screens right around now while I read it out. Mission briefing, cost of 1, service. When you gain this card, immediately gain 2 task unique assets. Then discard 1 task asset and this card. So nothing amazing, but it only costs 1. I'll put it down here in the reserve. All right, so that's it for Jenny. Next up, it's going to be Diana Stanley. Now, it was meant to be Leo originally, but what I've done is just before we started, I decided to jiggle around with the order of our investigators. I think it's better that Diana goes next. So Diana is going to be our second investigator. Let's go across to her player tray. Diana replaced the receiver in its cradle. She looked around the Oficina de Correos. It looked innocuous enough. It was early morning in Panama City, with just a few people milling about their business. There was no reason for the lodge to suspect anything just yet. Diana hoped that the Barnes woman could use the information about her sister. Diana had met Isabel once at a lodge fundraiser. A nice girl, but it occurred to Diana that the whole Silver Twilight thing was just a bit of fun for her. Something a little daring and exciting that she could perhaps tell her society friends about later. Poor Isabel. She just didn't realise how dangerous Carl Sanford could be. There was no way he would let an heiress to the Barnes fortune slip through his fingers. Time to put into action the last part of her plan. Diana made her way to the docks. She would have to get to the Amazon fast if she wanted to stop the horror that was about to occur. And here we are with Diana. And, yeah, she's got a lot to do this episode. And she's going to crack on with it. So she's going to need that wither spell for a start and her arcane manuscripts. So she's all ready to go. She does have a very important action that she's got here. And that's regarding cultist monsters. And she will definitely be looking to use that this turn because she's going to head to the Amazon. All right, let's get across to the board, see how she gets on. And here we are back at the board. Now, normally, if I was going to head into the Dragon's Den, I'd normally try and get a focus or something, but we just haven't got time. So the first action for Diana, unfortunately, is going to have to move. So she's going to move around down this uncharted path straight into the Amazon. Dun, 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 which is full of monsters. But for a second action, she's going to use her component action. If there is a cultist monster on your space, discard all monsters on your space or move the cultist monster to another space. We're not going to bother moving the cultist monster. We are going to discard it, and we're going to discard the other monster with it, a hunting horror, because the hunting horror is appalling. And we don't want to be seeing that at all. So both of these, when you discard a normal monster, that means you put them back into the cup. Now, because they're normal monsters, she could discard those. However, the other two guys, Yeb and Nug, well, she can't affect them. They're epic monsters. They cannot be discarded unless it involves moving their health down to 0. You've got to defeat them. And in order to do this mystery, we've got to defeat Nug. So discard it, even if we could discard him, that doesn't count like defeating. So we've got to keep him there. But at least we were able to get rid of the hunting horror, and we were able to get rid of that cultist. So there's only 2 monsters on the space now, even though they're epic monsters. So we're going to have to fight those during the encounter phase, not now, thankfully. But yes, she's put herself in harm's way to try and help the team. I hope that she survives. We shall see. But yeah, we can't afford to hang around. Not with two epic monsters. We've just got to throw ourselves at them and hope that we can kill them. But she's got a wither spell, and she does have her passive special ability, which is she reduces all horror to 1 when she does the horror check. So at least she shouldn't go insane fighting these guys. But they may well rip her to shreds. We'll have to see. Okay, so that's it for Diana Stanley. Next up, it's going to be Leo Anderson down in Buenos Aires. Leo sat aghast at the bar, his whiskey virtually untouched. The telegram in his hands was from Walter Barnes's eldest girl, Jenny. She was coming to Buenos Aires. What the hell? Her father had picked up the funding for Leo's expedition, which was fantastic, but Jenny was to meet Leo personally and outline some conditions on the money and present a contract for him to sign. Damn it, Walter! So here we are with our expedition leader, the happy-go-lucky Leo Anderson. And yep, so he's in Buenos Aires and Jenny's just arrived. So what he's going to do first is he is actually going to trade for the double-barreled shotgun. So we've already seen that. He's going to equip that. So as part of the deal, he gets a double-barreled shotgun. But he's going to have to use it. So for his second action, let's get over to the board. And here we are with Leo. Now, ideally, I would have liked him to do his special action, his component action, which was to test influence and to try and get one of these allies, because we've got the museum director and the willful aristocrat, and they're both very good. But we haven't got time because of Nug. So what we're going to do is he's going to use his second action to travel on this uncharted path to the Amazon. So he is going to join Diana Stanley in the Amazon, and they're both going to have a go at trying to kill Nug. We're not too bothered about Yeb yet, other than the fact he might get our heads ripped off by Yeb. But we're going to try and inflict some hurting on Nug. And do it now while we've got some health and we've got some sanity and we've got a double-barreled shotgun, is what I say. So Leo has gone to the Amazon, and during the encounter phase, him and Diana are going to have some laughs in the jungle. But that's it for him, and that means that next up will be Finn Edwards, the bootlegger. Finn thanked Spatz and made his way out of the diner. He picked up his coat, and putting it on, he could feel the package that one of Spatz's goons had slipped into the pocket. One way to Shanghai, Finn. Don't let me down. Such was the price to be able to skip town quickly, and Finn needed to scram. He had told Spatz that the destruction of the still was an accident. Explosions happened even with well-maintained and well-regulated pressure boilers. Never mind the ramshackle jerry-rigged things Finn was used to operating out in the backwoods making illicit hooch. Spatz, for his part, had had such things happen before, and Finn was in credit. But while Spatz had plenty of stills, he also had a price. And a trip to Shanghai delivering a suspect package was what Spatz considered fair compensation for losing a still. Finn would normally curse his luck, but in this case he thought it a godsend. Because there had been nothing wrong with that still. It was those goons in black robes he had come across in the glade. He had been out hunting rabbit between distillations, and he ran into these goons sacrificing some poor unfortunate to that thing. Horrified, Finn had balked, and they had all turned towards him. Well, Finn just fired his rifle before dropping it in terror. Not waiting to see if he had hit anything, Finn had run like the devil, and they had chased him through the woods. Reaching the shack, Finn had had to think quickly. He could hear them calling out to each other, closing in. But it was the sound of something else, something huge coming through the trees that had decided him. Finn had turned the pressure right up on that boiler, and then used the hidden hatch in the floor to escape. 20 minutes later, he heard the explosion from the back of the truck that he had flagged down in the road. That should have been an end to it, but Finn, well, he had instincts. In his line of business, it paid to have good instincts, and Finn's were the best. The last few days he knew that he was being watched, and he knew that it wasn't the cops. Pulling his coat close around him, Finn shuddered at the thought, and then he headed towards the train station. So, here we are with Finn. And yes, we're going to do his courier run. So he's going to head towards Shanghai. That's his plan. And he's taking some of his hooch with him, his whiskey. And yes, let's get him to San Francisco first, and then we'll sort of head him on out towards Shanghai. Eventually, I'd like to get him to Tokyo, because Shub Nigorath is all about the monsters, baby. And if we can get somebody in Tokyo with a good chance every encounter phase of actually getting rid of a monster, then let's go for it. So he's heading for the Far East. Let's bob across to the actual board and see how he gets on. And here we are with Finn. The first thing he's going to do is he's going to use his special ability as a component action, and that means he can move along one space. And he's going to move to San Francisco. Now, because that was a component action, because it's part of his special ability, it means as his second action, he can actually travel. And he is going to travel. He's going to travel to space 2 here. So he should be able to get to Tokyo next turn. And from Tokyo, it's just a short hop to Shanghai. Okay, so he hasn't done too much this turn. We're trying to get him into position. All right, that's it for Finn Edwards, and that is it for the action phase. Next up is the encounter phase. And here we are at the encounter phase with Jenny, and she's on Buenos Aires. Now, I've took the clue off her player tray regarding her personal story, the Buenos Aires one. All we've got to do is resolve one of these bad boys, an encounter, and then we can discard that clue. So we'll take one of these, we'll cut, pick them all up, and cut. And that means we get this one on the top. Okay, let's flip it over, and we'll use one of these because we don't want to see the others. Right, there we go. Can we see that? I think we can, just about. So, a Wakufe lures you into another world with a gift. What the hell's a Wakufe? Gain 1 random trinket asset from the deck. Whoa! Excellent. So we've got to go through the deck till I get to a trinket asset. I'm going to do it, normally I do it in front of camera, but it just takes ages. So I'm just going to do it off camera. So service, I'm going to flick through till I get the first one. Oh, and yeah. I got the first one, and it is, and in fact I'm doing it a different way now. It's an arcane manuscript, so that should flash up in a second, and I'll just read it for you while I'll just quickly shuffle this deck because we've had a look through it. Put the deck back. Now I shall read through it, and hopefully it should have come up on screen for you guys. So, ancient manuscript, 3 cost, trinket, and it's a relic tome. Gain +1 law, brilliant, and +1 will, brilliant. Once per round, you may re-roll 1 die when resolving a test. Well, this is just brilliant. A re-roll, +1 law, +1 will. Fantastic. That goes on her player tray. And that's great news. Okay, let's read the rest of this card. You ask the spirit for help, and it's an influence test. Yes! It's only 4 this time. We only get 4 dice because we've already used her other action, her special action this turn. So come on. Come on. And we get 2 successes, which is brilliant. 2 5s. If you pass, it agrees, gain 1 non-incantation spell. If you fail, well, we didn't fail. You can read that if you want to, guys. Now, I split my spells into incantations, rituals, and glamours. Mainly because it'd just be a huge deck otherwise. So we're not allowed an incantation, but we are allowed a glamour, or let's get that out of the way, then we can see them. So we're allowed a ritual or a glamour. What we're going to do is we're going to roll a dice, he says, after moving that out of the way. On a 1 to 3, we're going to get a ritual. On a 4 to 6, we're going to get a glamour. So let's just roll a 1. So we're going to get a ritual. Good, because glamours are a pain in the ass. They're good, but they're a pain. So we get rid of that. Put the glamour up there. So it's going to be a ritual. And as usual, what we're going to do is we're going to do a cut. And then I'm going to pick one off the bottom. And we get Feed the Mind. So we've got a Feed the Mind spell. I'm going to read that by the magic of editing. You should have it on your screen right around now. Feed the Mind spell. Ritual. Action. Test law -1. If you pass, choose an investigator on your space to improve one skill of their choice. Then flip this card. Awesome. We can't flip the card yet, but she will be able to do so should she cast it, and we'll find out what's on the other side. Okay, so that was a really, really good encounter, and we resolved it. Even if we'd failed, we would have resolved it. So we get rid of this. That's discarded. And her search for Izzy has got rid of one of those clues. So we've only got 2 more to go. Space 1 and Space 6. So well done to Jenny. Okay, that's her encounter phase. Next up, it will be Diana Stanley. And here we are with Diana Stanley. We've put her towards the front because she's going first. So just swapped around with Leo. And she's got to take these 2 guys on. She's got to take both of them on. But it's up to her which goes first. And Nug is going to go first. So we'll just flip him over and have a quick look. I think we can see it. So first of all, we've got the horror check. Now, normally you'd lose 2 horror on this guy. But she's got a passive ability, which means she'll only ever use 1 horror. Now, it's a will test -1. She has a will of 2 because she got an extra will through the prelude. So she gets a single dice. And we're looking for a success. Come on. And a 1 is not a success. We won't be using that dice again. So she loses a sanity, which is unfortunate. So she's down to 4 sanity. Bit of a bummer. And she's going to carry on with the combat. And she is going to use her Wither spell, which should be coming up right at the moment. But for you to have a look at, but it's there as well. And that's an incantation. So in order to do this incantation, what she's got to do is test law. And the law's pretty good. It's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think there's anything that contributes to that. Yes, there is. The arcane manuscripts. So she gets 5 dice, which is cool. And see how many successes we get. We get 1 success, which is rubbish. Just checking the arcane manuscript doesn't have a reroll. No. So 1 success is bad. Because whatever's on the flip side of here. But we passed. So we get 3 strength during an encounter. We've got to flip the card now. Find out what the bad news is. And it should come up on your screen because I will scan it right after this. And which means I can pick it up and read it normally. So it should be on your screen now. Resolve the effect based on your test result. Well, we got a 1. So the spell's dark energy turns against you, flooding your mind with madness. Discard this card unless you lose 2 sanity. We're going to discard it. Yeah, I don't want her to lose 2 sanity this early, and I'm sure she'll pick up a card at some point. So we've discarded the Wither spell, which is an incantation, so that goes into the incantation deck. Yeah, so we've discarded that. And she doesn't have to lose those 2 sanity. But she still gets the +3 because she succeeded. I'm going to change out some of these crap dice. Let's get some more from over here. And hopefully these will roll a bit better. And yes, so she's got +3 on the actual combat. So the combat for Nug here is -2. And it does it can do 4 damage. Oof. Oof. So we're going to do +3 damage, and her strength is at 4. So we're going to be rolling 7 dice. At least that's something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have to use one of these crap dice to make it up to 7. Come on, at least get a couple of hits. You can do it, Diana. Come on. And she gets 2 hits. Woo! Awesome. So, oh, it was -2, wasn't it? Oh, I'm a donut. Hang on. She didn't get 7 dice, she got 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to roll that again. Go! Right. Trying again with 5 dice. And we got 3 successes that time. Woo! Yay me for getting it wrong first time round. But to be fair, I could have re-rolled that and got none. So we got 3 successes, which is brilliant. So we still take a damage. We take a single damage. So she's down to 6 health now. But this guy takes 3 damage out of 8. So that is a good start. We've got another 5 damage to do. However, it is not over, because we have good old Yeb. So perhaps I shouldn't have got rid of that Wither spell. But never mind. Right. So what we've got to do here is, again, we've got to do the horror check. She's got 1 dice. We could do with a success. A 4 is not a success, so she takes another sanity hit. She is down to 3 sanity. Bloody epic monsters, they're a pain. So that's down to 3. She's down to 3 sanity, and then she's got her test. She's only got 4 dice because she's not using Wither. And that's -2, so she got 2 dice. And she gets a single success. So that's 1 onto this guy. And that did 3 damage in return. So she takes 2 damage. So she's down to 4 health. But we knew it was a gamble with Diana. We knew there was a good chance that she was going to take some hits. But she had to get onto that space to get rid of those normal monsters. And let's be honest, she's done pretty well there. Mainly because I had to re-roll, because I cocked it up first time on Nug. But I'm glad I did now, because she got 3 damage on him. So that's brilliant. Okay, so that is it for Diana. She can't have any normal encounter because there are monsters on her space. So she's stuck. Yeah, so she's done what she can. And that's it for her. Next up is Leo Anderson. And here we are with Leo Anderson. So he's going to take on Nug first as well. And he's got his double-barreled shotgun and the hired muscle. So we've brought those out just in case we need them. And we do need them. So first of all, it's the will test, which is -1. He's got 4 will, thanks to the prelude. So he's going to roll 3 dice. And what is it? Yeah, he could lose 2 sanity here. He gets 2 successes. That is enough. He's passed and he doesn't lose any sanity either. That's great. So he's passed the will test, and then it is the all-important strength test. So he's going to get +4 from his double-barreled shotgun and a re-roll from the hired muscle. You can't add the +1 strength here because he's getting +4 from the double-barreled shotgun. I think that's how it works. So we can only use the higher one, which is on the shotgun. So +4, and he's got 4, I think. Let's just check. Yes, he's got 4 strength. +4 is 8. And it's -2, so he's going to be rolling 6 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we want some 6s. We need some 6s. Come on. Come on, you can do it, Leo. You're the boy. Oh, a 6. 2 5s. That's 2 hits. A 6 is 2 hits, which is 4. And we get a re-roll because of the hired muscle. So we're going to re-roll this one. So let's get those 3 out of there. So that is a grand total of 7. And we need 8 to kill it. So this re-roll of the hired muscle is all important. Come on, a success. A success. We need it. Oh, no, 4. Oh, nightmare. So we got 4 hits. That is so close. So close. But I think we'll get it next turn. I think, yeah, what happened was Diana was in the glade. She was doing her best. And it looked like the monsters were going to make mincemeat out of her. She managed to get some hits on them. But then Leo turned up with his double-barreled shotgun. He's told her to get the hell out. And he's going to deal with it. He's blasted Nug in the face. Well, if you call it a face. In the tentacles. And he's nearly done for him. Should be able to get rid of him next turn. But we've still got Yeb. So Yeb moves down. We've got to do yet another will test. We've got a will of 4. But it's -1. So we're going to be rolling 3 dice. And once again, oh, this is 3. So we need all of these to be successes to avoid taking sanity damage. And we only get 1, so we take 2 sanity damage. So he's down to 4 sanity. Oh, damn it. They're really low on sanity, these guys. That is unfortunate. But we've got to try and get rid of him. And once again, he is going to do the all-important strength test. So again, this is -2. So we're going to be rolling 8 dice, -2, 6 dice again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, this one's 8 damage as well, isn't it? Oh, dear me. Right, so yeah, and we've got to get at least 3 successes, and that way we'll avoid taking damage ourselves. So come on. Shotgun. 6s, please. Oh, 1 success. That is so rubbish. We get a re-roll. Oh, 1 is rubbish. Rolled all them dice. Okay, let's pick another die. We could do with a 6. A 2. Ah, crap. Okay, so that's just 1 damage onto Yeb, who's getting out of this very well. So he's only got 2 damage as Yeb. And, oh, damn it. So that means 2 damage to Leo. Leo's now on 4 health. But, you know, he's giving it a good go there. They both have. And they've took some damage, but they've also caused some damage, especially to Nug. And if we could kill him next turn, that's the first mystery over. I think Diana's going to have to get the hell out. So next turn she's going to have to move because she's in a bad way and she hasn't got a wither spell anymore. So she's going to leave good old Leo to face the music. But hopefully Leo, he can polish Nug off and he can sort of like keep himself together so he manages to crawl out of the Amazon alive. We only need to kill Nug, really. We can come back for Yeb at a later time. Nug's the guy we've got to get rid of because of the mystery. Okay, that's it for Leo. Next up, it's going to be Finn Edwards. And here we are with Finn. So he's on a sea space, so he's got a generic sea encounter. And I think out of all of his possessions, I think there's only the whiskey that will really help him. So let's do a cut here. And let's see what we have got. Let's pop that there. Can we read it? I think we can. We'll pop that over there so we don't see the others. And let's have a little ready. Several members of the crew have been quarantined, suffering from some unidentified affliction. For the duration of the trip, you pay careful attention to avoid any risk of exposure. That is an observation test. What is his observation? His observation is a 3. So we roll 3 dice. And we want a success. We get a 5, which is a success. If you fail, we did not fail. And succeeding, we don't get anything. We just didn't get the nastiness. So that's cool. All right. So we can now discard that. Not the best. We could have done with getting something funky. But that'll have to do. And he didn't have to chug his whiskey. You can save that. And we'll put that back on his player tray. Okay, good news for Finn. He can just carry on towards Tokyo. That is it for him, and that is it for the encounter phase. Next up, oh yes, it's the laugh and chuckle phase. And here we are, yes, it's the laugh and chuckle phase, our favourite bit, the Mythos phase, and that means we need to pull a laugh and chuckle card. So here we go, the one off the top, and it is a green, and it's a snowflake, so we're alright. By the magic of editing, I'll go and scan this, by the magic of editing, you will see it. I shall read it out for you. So first of all, we've got a omen track move. So we go into a blue constellation. That's fine. We don't have any blue constellation gates. We only have the Himalayas. That's a red sun. We're going to get that next, probably. So we're going to lose a doom there. Don't think we can get anybody to the Himalayas, but never mind. Then we have a monster surge. So each gate that matches the Omen token's current space, well, there aren't any, spawn the number of monsters based on the reference card, which would have been 2. So we're not having to do that, I don't think. And if there are no matching gates currently on the game board, we spawn another gate. And the amount of gates we spawn is 1. Put that down here. So we'll go to the top here, and what gate do we get? We get Antarctica. Now this is a blue constellation, but it wasn't there when we checked, so we don't have to move the doom track down. But Antarctica, again, another bloody gate that's nowhere near anywhere else. What a pain. But at least we've got a couple of turns before it starts causing us any real problems. Because we have spawned a gate, that means we get, yes, a monster. Let's get right down to the bottom. We could do with another cultist, actually. Oh, which reminds me, hang on. We'll pull this out first. We've got a leopard man. Now, this has got a spawn on it. So, where's it going to go? I'm not going to bother scanning this. When this monster is spawned, move it to the Heart of Africa, then search the deck for a Heart of Africa expedition encounter. Shuffle the deck and place that card on top. Oh, what a load of messing around. Messing about, I can do without. That rhymes. Okay, let's put that on there. Okay. Heart of Africa expedition. Where are you? Where's the expedition deck? It's here. So, does that change? Does the expedition move from Tunguska? Yes, it must do. It must do. So, we'll find one for the Heart of Africa. And there it is. It was the second one anyway. We'll shuffle the deck as we were told. There we are. This one's on the top. Okay, because that one's on the top, that means the expedition moves. So we're now at the Heart of Africa. Awesome. And then we spawn clues, and the number of clues we spawn is 2 as well. So let's get Brian's favourite bag. And our first clue is Space 4, which is up here in Canada. Pop that there. And the next one is Space 6. Everything's going to the Americas. So there we go. Very American centered episode. Everything's over here. Well, apart from the gates and everything else. But there is quite a bit in the Americas, I must admit. Alright, so we've done all that. Now I can read the flavour text. When the medium regains consciousness, he explains that the powerful shadow that threatens this world has pushed too hard. Time and space would take no more and have retaliated, pushing back against the Ancient One's horrible designs. Cosmic backlash. Event. Retreat doom. Buy one for each gate on the game board that corresponds to the current omen. Well, we have one. Antarctica. And this is the way it goes. So even though we didn't lose a doom, we did promote this gate before we got to this part of the actual card. So we do have one on the board, and that means we can retreat doom. Excellent. So we put that to 14. Right, done it. Then discard each of those gates and spawn one gate for each gate discarded in this way. Oh, that means another monster. Bloody hell. So we discard this gate. So Antarctica gate goes away. But we get another one, which is the pyramids now. So we've got, I think this is right. So we've got one now at the pyramids. And every time that you spawn a gate, you spawn a monster. So we've got yet another bloody monster. Let's pick one out again from the bottom. Come on, get out. You're the one. Oh, this looks horrible. A proto-shoggoth. And it's got a bloody reckoning on it, look. Damn it. So let's get a stand for it. This isn't good. This isn't good. You get a snowflake card, and I've ended up getting an extra 2 monsters. What a pain. Supposed to be a good card. You're not. You're a bad card. Bad card. Right, so we will discard that. All the rest of these can go back. Well, at least it wasn't something really, really horrible. We just ended up with... managed to get rid of one gate, but we got another gate. So we ended up with 2 extra monsters. We've got a leopard man and a proto shoggoth. And yeah, so we got rid of 2 monsters thanks to Diana. We've ended up with 2 more. We've got a second gate. Well, it's a load of rubbish. Supposed to like get rid of a gate and then you get another gate. Crap. So you don't get rid of a gate at all. What a stupid card. Okay, so the pyramids. At least that probably a bit easier to get to, I suppose. But the proto shoggoth, it's a beast. Could do without that. Okay, so how have we gone on that turn? I think we've gone on okay, actually. We managed to put a real hurting on Nug, and hopefully Leo will be able to polish him off next turn. Diana is going to have to get the hell out of there, because I don't think she will be able to take another attack. So let's get her out of there. She can go to Buenos Aires or something. Leo can stay there. He can try and finish off Nug, and then the turn after that he will try and escape, and he will get away. Like I say, we'll leave Yeb. Leo will have to fight him as well, and if we're really lucky, he'll kill it as well. But I doubt it. So whatever damage we put onto Yeb, we'll leave him there, and see what the next mystery is. Probably the next mystery will be kill Yeb, and we'll just have to go back in. But we'll see. Yep. So those 3 are all sorted, and Finn, he's just trying to get to he's going to get to Tokyo and then move on to Shanghai. Then he can do that courier run, because that helps with his personal story. And that's the thing with personal stories in Eldritch Horror. They do get in the way a bit. But if you can't really leave them, because the consequences are normally really bad. So try and get them done as early as possible is what I do. Get them done as early as possible, and then they're out of the way. And if you do get the rewards are pretty good too. But as you know, my thoughts on this game are like time is your most important thing. And running around after like artifacts or doing personal stories or courier or tasks or things like that just get in the way of solving mysteries. But personal stories, you've pretty much got to do them. The others, like artifacts and tasks and stuff, you can normally like kick into touch. But the personal stories, really, you've got to do. So we're cracking on with that. Hopefully we will do them. We will get the rewards, and then we can just concentrate on solving these mysteries. Okay, so good start, very good start. We've still got some good stuff in the asset reserve. We've got that grizzly token. We've got the grizzly totem, and we've got those 2 allies and the crappy mission briefing. But hopefully we'll be able to pick some of those up, because they're pretty good. Right. Other than that, I think that is it for this episode of Eldritch Horror and Shub-Niggurath and the twin blasphemies of the Black Goat. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all the views. Thanks for all the subscriptions. Thank you for all the likes and dislikes. You're a set of stars. And also thank you for all the help and support as ever. Thank you very much. Any errors, as normal, give us a shout. It's been over a year since I've played this, so I could well have messed something up somewhere. So if I have, give me a shout and I will do my best to fix it for next turn. Other than that, yep, thank all the people who follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Thank you. Anybody who's been across to Board Game Links to upvote the site there, thank you very much. And similarly, anybody who's been across to BGG, liking the video threads, making comments, dropping Geek Gold, anything like that, thank you so much. That is it for turn 1. I hope you join me for turn 2. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, saying toodaloo.